while we're talking about all of this, Iran, or I should say their soccer players, are currently in Australia at the moment on the Gold Coast to participate in the Asia Cup. And last night was the opening match of the women's competition, which was Iran versus South Africa. And the Iranian women decided not to sing their national anthem. Take a look. And I say good on them, seriously good on them. Now, this is what we need to remember amongst all these people who want to mourn the Ayatollah. These are women who've lived under the regime that the Ayatollah presided over. They know what happens to women in Iran. And for them, presumably, this is a good moment. And there they are on the world stage saying, we're not participating in this.
I heard people criticising them, can you believe it or not, saying, well, why didn't you go the whole hog and remove your headscarves? And I think, well, probably because they've got family in Iran.
Exactly.
And they need to be very careful to make sure they don't jeopardise them. How stupid do they make Western sports people who, do you remember, took a knee for George Floyd and so on and so forth? I mean, that's a real protest over real human rights abuses where they are really risking their own welfare and their families compared to many of the sports stars that we would be familiar with who have made virtue signalling an art form for all manner of trivial causes.
Yet so much of the left still won't support them. You would think that this would be such an obvious bipartisan issue we could all get around. You don't even have to support Iran or the people of Iran because they're being oppressed by an Islamic dictatorship. You could also support them because, hey, women aren't being treated very well. Your LGBT allies are not being treated very well. In fact, anyone who criticises the regime is at risk of being imprisoned, tortured and executed. Yet the left is remarkably silent.
I think, by the way, I said South Africa before. It was South Korea. I may have just corrected myself for something I didn't get wrong, but I think I said South Africa. But you're right. I mean, it's so annoying seeing how the left carries on about all of these things, and they'll get high and mighty and indignant about it, which you can when you live in a Western country where you don't have to worry about your own freedoms. And you know, if you love the Ayatollah that much and what he stood for, why don't you bugger off to somewhere that they live like that? Why do you choose to live in Australia?
Yeah, and the reality is most Iranians do not support the regime. The Iranian regime claims that 99.5% of Iranians are Muslim, but it's actually not true. In real surveys, it's more like 40%. So less than half the population are even identifying as Shia Muslims. The others are a whole range of religions, and there's been a massive outburst of Christian conversions in Iran. So this is not a country or a people that wants to be ruled by a hardline Islamic dictatorship. And so when you see Australians, and particularly people like Ned Manoon, who've benefited from all of what the West has offered, essentially defending the Iranian regime, it's just disgusting.